At the end of every year, Billboard Japan puts out a list of the 10 hottest songs of the year. And for 2023, there's actually some pretty good ones on the list. So I'm gonna go over that. Starting at number 10, it's Utsukushii Hiré by Spitz. Spitz is a band that's been around for over 35 years now, and they've been consistently successful. They were topping charts in the 90s, and they're still in the top 10 in 2023. This song was done for the soundtrack of a Detective Conan movie, which is an anime that I know is popular, but I've never actually watched. It's also one of only 2 songs on the list that was actually released in 2023. As for the song, it's pretty good. I admittedly haven't listened to anything Spitz has done in the last 20 or so years, but I liked it. I'm really surprised at how well their singer's voice has held up since the 90s. The band has changed a bit though. It's more of a modern J-pop song, a departure from the jangly rock that they got big on back then. It's nothing too special, but it's nice and chill. It's a solid pop song. I know when I did all the number 1 ranked songs of the year, I didn't like most of them, but that's because it was just idol groups doing sales manipulation. There's some actual good songs on this list. At number 9, it's Overdose by Natori. This came out at the end of 2022, and it was the first song he ever released, so congrats, I guess. I'm iffy on some of his later work, but this is a pretty good track. It's dance pop, the instrumental keeps it simple, and Natori is a perfectly fine vocalist, but the key to this song's popularity is that he's delivering some amazing hooks, which makes it a perfect song for TikTok, which is mostly how this song blew up in the first place. I will say, the little vocal sample DJ thing he has going on in the background is a really cool addition that takes this past just being a generic dance song and into something actually pretty fun and memorable. It's nothing earth-shattering, but it's enjoyable and it's catchy enough to be good through a lot of listens. He released an album last month too, and it was honestly better than I expected it to be, so I don't think he'll just be a one-hit wonder. He'll probably have some more in the future. At number 8, it's WXY by Tani Yuuki, which came out in the first half of 2021 and is still hanging onto the charts multiple years later. This song is so old that it was number 2 on this list in 2022, and it's still here. This isn't even the oldest song we're gonna see in this video either. Anyways, we found the first track that I just don't really like. This is a classic Japanese ballad song. It's a droning guitar instrumental that's carried by Tani Yuuki being a really good singer. Unfortunately, his singing skills are not enough to save this one. There's some catchy bits, but the instrumental is kinda disjointed, and there's just not enough going on to hold my interest at all. I see the appeal, but I'm not a fan. At number 7, released initially in 2022, it's Mrs. Green Apple with Dance Hall. This is a band where I'm not entirely sure what they actually do, because every song I've ever heard from them sounds completely different. They did a really fun and energetic Fire Force opening a couple years ago that was just like a pure J-rock song. They had another hit this year called K Sarah Sarah that was some weird pop rock song with orchestral bits, and I absolutely hated it. And then in the middle of that is Dance Hall, which is some kind of weird funk pop song. I mean, it's definitely catchy, I'll give them that. It does kind of remind me a bit of Overdose in that regard. There's some good hooks in the chorus here, and overall it's a pretty fun song, at least on an initial listen. The problem is, this thing gets annoying fast. The synths sound like ass, the singing is a bit annoying, and the energetic chorus isn't enough to save the fact that the rest of this song is lethargic and uninspired. I'm not into this at all, and I'd much rather listen to Overdose because it has infinitely more replayability than this song does. At number 6 is Auto with New Genesis. This was also on this list last year, albeit at number 7 that time, which means at this rate it'll be the biggest song in Japan by the year 2028. I know I've taken my shots at Auto, but this is definitely one of her best songs. This was done for a One Piece soundtrack, and it's easily one of the best songs in that movie. It also helps that it's produced by Yasutaka Nakata, the same guy who composes the music for Perfume and Capsule, and he's having a career revival right now with some of the really good music he's been putting out recently. This is a fairly normal synth pop song, which makes it stand out in the Auto discography, as it's one that's filled with chaos and bro step and electro swing and all kinds of other genres that shouldn't exist. Nataka contributes a synthwavy instrumental that harkens back to 80s neon lights and arcade racing games. It's similar to what he's been doing with Capsule recently on their album Metropulse. And Auto, in a rare move for her, keeps her voice in her natural range, and would you believe it, she sounds great. It shows that she can still have a big impact without without trying to do inhuman shrieks constantly. I wish more auto songs sounded like this, cause this is really good. At number 5, it's 10 Feet's Dai Zero Kan. This is another anime movie tie-in, but this time it's with a slam dunk movie. This list is filled with pretty light, breezy J-pop songs, and this stands in stark contrast to those. It's a comparatively much heavier J-rock cut. It's still taking some things from today's J-pop scene, like the drum beat keeps it pretty dancey, and there's some glittery synths being thrown around at times, but it's still very much an outlier in the context of this list. I do like this song. The guitar riff is really fun, and the chorus is pretty good for this kind of hype anime rock song. I'm not sure how much I'll re-listen to this, but if I heard this while I was watching a slam dunk movie, I'd probably end up loving it. My only real complaint is that it's a bit long and wandery. Like, this thing is 5 minutes long, but it's got a very loose song structure where it feels like they're just kind of randomly moving through bits and pieces of song without much actual flow. I think it could have been condensed down to like a tight 3 minutes, but hey, I still enjoyed it. Number 4, another anime tie-in. It's the Chainsaw Man opening, Kickback by Kenshi and Yonezu. Kenshi and Yonezu was always big in Japan, but I feel like this song was what really rocketed him into English-speaking conversations. Seriously, way more people have tried to talk to me about Kenshi and Yonezu after Chainsaw Man than before Chainsaw Man. I've said this on the channel before, but I'm not the biggest fan of this song. It's fine. I think the chorus has definitely grown on me since I first heard it, but the rest of the song really hasn't. The anime version is okay, and the full version is a big letdown compared to the fun bit that they play in the anime. It does that big orchestral heavenly drop as a bridge, and I hate that part. It's so comically out of place, and it completely ruins any sort of flow that the song had before that. I'd honestly listen to this way more if that part was just removed entirely. The final chorus of the song is also just worse than the first one that they used in the show. I like this as a TV-sized 90-second shot of energy. I'm not big on the full version at all. At number 3, a song that was released in May 2020 and still spent the entire year in the Hot 100's top 10, Kaijuu no Hanauta by Vaundy. The story with this is that in Japan, there's a big New Year's concert show every year called Kohaku. Every year, it's pretty much the biggest thing on TV at that time. Vaundy went on there at the end of 2022 to sing his song Kaijuu no Hanauta, and then that performance went viral, which rocketed this thing all the way to number 2 on the charts, and it's been hugely popular in Japan ever since. And I really like this song. I'll fully admit, though, that, like, this is way too dramatic. It's Imagine Dragons levels of overblown. It's shooting for an epic, inspiring J-rock feeling, but just, like, completely overshoots it. But I still love it. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure, but I really enjoy it every time it comes on. Vaundy has some catchy melodies, the hook is fun. Yes, it's completely blown out in every possible way, but it's very endearing with it, I guess. It's not in the soulless Imagine Dragons way. There's a lot of passion shining through on this song. And I think that passion turns this from potentially really annoying song to a really good song. At number 2, official HIGE DANdism Subtitle. This song took the record of most weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Japan Hot 100, just to have that record immediately smashed into oblivion by the song that's number 1 on this list. This is another ballad type track, but it's much more interesting than the one Tani Yuuki had earlier. The instrumental here is a lot more active. There's the typical slow piano you'd expect from these type of songs, but it's paired with an active drum beat, and it's also contrasted by more energetic synths. The singer's pretty good here as well, and that all comes together to make it a pretty unique kind of ballad. It's solid. It's not something I'd listen to very frequently, but when this comes on in shuffle, I never click off. And then at number 1, a song that took this spot by a very large margin, and a song I've had to talk about 4 separate times on this channel already, YOASOBI's Idol. This was the opening to the anime Oshi no Ko, which I actually really liked as a manga back when I, actually read manga. I actually don't think I read anything the series did past like late 2021, and then I completely forgot it existed until the anime came out, but I did enjoy the manga. However, I do not enjoy this song at all. If you want a detailed analysis into why I don't like this, you can watch Here, Here, or even Here, but it's just way too similar to every other YOASOBI song. They're on these best-selling music of the year lists really frequently, but every song that's ever ended up on these lists from them sounds the same to me. Their song Yoru ni Kakeru was number 1 in 2020, and despite the 3-year gap in between them, Idol just sounds like a worse version of that one. Every YOASOBI song has this same key change, this similar chorus. I'm getting nothing out of this song that I couldn't already get by just listening to Yoru ni Kakeru, which is a song that I like better than this one. So why would I ever listen to Idol? I just don't like it. So real quick, to end this off, let's rank these based on how much I like them. At the bottom, it's YOASOBI's Idol. Right up from that, Tani Yuuki's WXY, and then Mrs. Green Apple's Dance Hall. Those are the only 3 in this video that I didn't really like. Following up from that, Kenshi and Yonezu's Kickback and 10 Feet's Dai Zero Kan are both fine. Subtitle by Official HIGE DANdism, Utsukushii Higher by Spitz, and Natori's Overdose are all pretty good. And then at the top, I really like New Genesis by Otto, and the best song in the video for me was Vaundy's Kaijuu no Hanauta. So thank you for watching. I did buy a mic stand for once, congratulations to me. I said in my last video that it would be my last 2023 video, but then I forgot I had this video written down, so oops. Anyways, love y'all so much, bye!